beginnings of the new record, we decided to just get together for 1 month, and some of us had got some songs written, some of us had got just ideas, and we just thought, look, we're not going to finish an album in a month, but let's get together in the studio, see what comes out of it, but don't go beyond the month. Let's try and do as much as we can.
And it was great. We all got together and listened to everybody's ideas, and then just picked them off one at a time, the ones that we wanted to go in and start working on. We all got in one room together and you know, just laid them down as a band.
We just flowed, and within like 2 days we had pretty much 5 or 6 songs, and with the end of the week we had like 14 or 12 songs on the go. So we thought, you know what, we're going to make an album for us, for, you know, the fact that we love music and we like writing songs and making Def Leppard music.
It was kind of done in stages of essentially 3 periods of a month long of building the album. And it was kind of nice to do that. There was no pressure. You could learn to live with the ideas as they were progressing. You weren't losing any perspective by having to, day after day after day after month go through the same sort of songs. So it was a really nice sort of way of letting the album grow in a natural way.
We were able to go away and listen to the songs, really listen to them, and then with that hindsight be able to, you know, come up with the best part that we could possibly come up with, whether that was drums, vocals, guitar, whatever. So that's been the process. And we go away, listen, and then the second time we got together, we were able to just modify and just focus in on what was really important, so that we liked the songs as much as we possibly could and actually be fans of the music that we made.
We're actually a really, really good live band, but we're not very good usually at capturing that in the studio. And the reason for that is that normally the way the band works is very methodical and very piecemeal, one guy at a time. And it's very difficult to capture the subtle, nuanced dynamics that a live band has when you're doing it one guy at a time. So we set up in the studio, the 5 of us in one room, so we could all make eye contact, and we started playing some rock ideas, and we managed to bang about 5 or 6 rock song ideas in the first couple of weeks, which was great, and that was really easy, and we kind of knew that would be the easy part of the record. But then after that, we thought, well, we're not really just that kind of band anymore, so we're not looking for a straight up rock record. We need to kind of embrace some of the more diverse elements that the band's known for, the production elements, the kind of pop sheen, big production thing. And so that's when we started scratching our head a lot and thinking, okay, well, what kind of song do we need next? Now, that inevitably happens with every Def Leppard record, and that's when it starts getting a little bit more painstaking.
One thing that I think we were really conscious of is making something that is a little more diverse than some of the records and albums we've done in the past. We all knew that once, by this stage, we have a certain style anyway. Our sound is very much based in the fact that the way that we orchestrate our guitar parts, the way that our backing vocals blend together, there's a sound. So those ingredients are never going to go away. So that we knew that whatever we do, it's essentially going to end up sounding, you know, indicative of Def Leppard. But we also wanted to just not be confined to specific songwriting things that we've done in the past. Basically anything that sounded good regardless of how it came about or what it represented, was put forward and was worked on to get to a point where it was good enough to get on the album. Even if it was just starting off with an acoustic guitar idea, it was progressed. And from that point of view, it was great to not really be confined to like going, well, we can't really do this because it doesn't really sound like a Def Leppard song at this point in time, you know, so it kind of gets left. In fact, the first track on the album, Let's Go, is a combination of 3 completely different ideas that I had from years back, that every so often it just so happens that you put them together and it all kind of works in the right environment, and a lot of things happen like that on the new album.
We'd work for a month and we'd take the tapes home, and Phil would play them to his friends in California, and I'd be playing to my friends in Dublin, and Sam would be playing to his friends in Sheffield. And you know, before you put the tape on, somebody would say, so, you know, you've got some new songs, what does it sound like? And we all ended up saying, it sounds like Def Leppard. And I think when we all realised that that's what we'd been saying out loud, Phil said, why don't we just call the album Def Leppard, because we've never done it, you know? So it was pretty simple, really, why we did it.
I said, let's call it Def Leppard because we're making it for us and no one else, plus we've never had a self-titled album. So that's pretty much how that came about. Yeah, it was an EP and it ended up being an album for the right reasons, you know, because we wanted to make music. I think it played a part, you know, Viv's illness, you know, it played a part in pretty much how we approached things after we'd done the Viva Hysteria thing in Vegas. Because we found out there, it's like, oh, crap.
Yeah, I've been dealing with lymphoma for the last almost 3 years. I did 3 rounds of chemo, and that didn't take care of it. And then exactly a year ago, I went into hospital for about 3.5 weeks to do a stem cell transplant.
Well, I'd have to go with Let's Go first because it's so classically Leppard that it came very naturally. You know, a lot of people might think that we just sat down to try and rewrite Sugar, but we didn't.
That's a song that was very close to my heart. It was something that was